All right, today we're going to look at a pretty radical idea, one that could seriously shake up the entire gig economy. It's a whole new way of thinking about how these platforms and their workers interact, and it all comes from a group called World Peace Engine Labs. And really, it all kicks off with one simple question. It's that moment you tap confirm on an app for a ride or for food. Have you ever just stopped and wondered, where does my money really go? You pay a fee, the driver gets paid, but what happens to the rest? Well, today, we're going to follow the money and see what could happen if that whole system got turned on its head.
$3 billion. Believe it or not, the sources we're digging into here suggest this could be the monthly revenue for gig economy platforms. That's a mind-blowing number, right? And it's all generated by millions of workers day in and day out. So how on earth does that number get so big?
Okay, so to really get what's being proposed here, we first have to break down the system we have now. Let's quickly unpack how these platforms currently work and, where all that cash is flowing. I mean, the scale of this is just wow. Sources point to something like 100 million rides happening every single day across the planet. So let's do some quick math. If a platform makes just $1 from each of those rides, that's $100 million a day. It doesn't take long to get to that $3 billion a month figure we just saw. And this right here, this is the crucial split. It's the central tug of war. On one side, you've got what the worker earns for their time, their car, their effort, and on the other, you have the platform's revenue. That's the cut that covers all their tech, their marketing, and of course, the profit that's become such a huge part of the whole debate. But what if this isn't the only way? What if that whole split could be different? The source material we're looking at introduces a project called Cloud Atlas OS, and it proposes a completely different and frankly, pretty wild financial setup. So what is it exactly? Well, Cloud Atlas OS is described as a decentralized platform. All that really means is there's no big company sitting in the middle, calling all the shots, and taking a huge cut. It's built on technology that already exists, but its goal is to replace the current model with one massive, game-changing twist. And this is the whole shebang, 99%. The core promise is simple. For every dollar a worker brings in, they keep 99 cents. The platform itself would just run on a tiny 1% contribution for support. To really see how dramatic that is, let's just look at it. Okay, so this is the world we're all pretty much used to. It varies, of course, but it's not uncommon for a platform to take a pretty hefty cut, sometimes around 30%, right off the top of a worker's fare. And then you have this. The difference is just, it's night and day, right? That huge slice of the pie that used to go to the platform, it's almost all back in the pocket of the person doing the actual work. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a total flip of the script on who gets the value. So you might think, okay, bigger paycheck, great. But the creators of this project argue that it goes way, way beyond that. A change this big, they say, could create a massive ripple effect, changing how people live their lives and even how our economy works. And they make it really clear, this idea isn't just about ride sharing. As they put it, this applies everywhere. Just think about it. Food delivery, freelance coding, creative work. Anywhere you've got a platform connecting a customer to a worker, this could work. When you boil it all down, this is really about financial freedom. The whole argument is that by redirecting this massive river of money from a few corporations to millions of individuals, you give people the power to decide for themselves what to do with their own money. And we're not talking about small choices either. The document gets really specific here, which I think is important. This isn't about abstract wealth. It's about being able to afford private health insurance. It's about paying for medical supplies you need. It's about sending your kid to kindergarten without having to stress. It's about turning what can be a precarious job into a truly sustainable way to live. Now, this isn't just some idea on a whiteboard. Cloud Atlas OS is a real active project, and its creators are actually calling on the community to help them build it. So, what are the next steps? And here's what makes this so different. It's designed to be a team effort. A pilot version is already out there, but it was left unfinished on purpose. The goal is for the community, the developers, the drivers, the users, to all shape its future together, building it right out in the open. So if this sounds like something you want to support, there are two really clear ways you can get involved. First, the easy one. Just share the idea, get the word out. The more people that know about this, the more steam it can build. And second, if you've got the tech skills, you can actually go to GitHub and help build the thing.
And that really leaves us with this one big question, doesn't it? It sounds almost too simple to be true, but when you follow the numbers and the logic, you really have to wonder, could shifting from a 30% cut to a 1% fee actually revolutionize an entire global industry? It's a pretty powerful thought. Thanks for tuning in.